Hello, hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and invite you guys to let you know I'm on and ready to go. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better tonight. I'm excited for this. It's something I've been wanting to do. And so yeah, I'm ready to get this party started. So just say hi when you get in. Let me know. Oh, okay, here's some people here I want to make sure to invite. Oh, okay, let's do that. Okay, we'll get them. Oh yes, I haven't seen her in a while. Oh, make sure. Okay, I think that's it. I'm not gonna go too much. Darla, is that you? I feel like that's your picture that I see, but we'll see. Okay. Oh yeah, I want to get her. Oh, and definitely her. Oh man. I feel like, oh, I definitely gotta get her. Oh, there we go, him. So, okay. Hi guys. Hi Darla. It's you. Hello, hello. So, I don't like with my ring light, I don't like how, you can see it in my glasses, but it's okay. I need this light. Make sure everybody sees me because this is a fun workshop that we're about to do. This is a transformational workshop we're about to do. Even though I do them every week, but like after COVID and me recovering and my insights I've had over this last week of how I replenished my energy is something I want to share with you guys, as well as we're going to go through, which I'm going to post right now. If you haven't seen the PDF already that I posted, it's a 3-page PDF. I'm just going to let you, it'll allow you guys to kind of follow through a little bit easier, but also to return back to this practice. Because of course, we're probably in an hour. There's like a lot of information that I want to go through, but I trust that the process that this process we're about to do, it's something you're going to return to a couple times, like over the next couple days, but there's like a secret to doing it, or not so much a secret, but like this key thing that I feel like it's something I need to really talk about, when you're doing transformational work. Hi sister. There's my sister. So I'm going to go ahead and post really quick the PDF. It's on the event page, but I'm going to go ahead and post it inside of this event, okay? Or like hopefully I can do it down here. So say hi when you get on here. What time is it right now? Hold on, guys. What time is it? Okay, it's 8:04. I want to get started in like a minute. I want to get started by 8:05. So I'll wait a little bit longer, but then I'm just going to get going here because I know that I'm excited. I've been excited all day. Hi, Megan. Megan's here. Okay, so here we go. Let me get on this live. Okay, there I am. I'll wait a little bit longer this live. Okay, here we go. Hi, Thomas. See, I can't see everything. Why can't I post? Okay, here we go. Hi, Thomas. See, I can't see. Like, why can't I post pictures in the comment? Anyway, go to the event page. I'll send you guys this after. I really want you guys to see it though, like as I'm talking about it. But whatever, we'll go back to it because this is work I want to do like in my one-on-ones with people specifically about planning out your year, but doing it a little differently than when you probably have ever done it before. This is a process that I have studied for years. I'm not just the last couple years. the act of setting goals and making strategic plans to reach them is something I've studied. Hi, Sarah. Good evening. For a while, because I'm not your typical, well, we're not your typical people in here, right? We're not your typical people. We have our special uniqueness about us. And so that means we have to approach things a little differently as well. We're a special, amazing people. And so, good evening. Welcome, you guys. So tonight, what the whole intention and the goal is to first clear out any stuck energy, any energy that is not moving, any place you're feeling tension in your body, that energy it's there through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our situations. If there's situations that are just stuck in one place in your life, that means that there's stuck energy. There's energy not moving. And so when we do chakra, like when I do chakra work, like here, like, one-on-one chakra work, or even over Zoom, when I go through each of the chakras, the reason that I say specific emotions and things that they're tied to is because when I speak those words and your subconscious starts thinking about them, and then things will start to come up that you didn't think of before. So if you guys saw my post earlier, it said you might forget about whatever. I think you might forget it, but your nervous system remembers. And that quote might mean many different things to other people. But for me, as soon as I saw that, I thought, that's it. Because before I started my healing work, I thought, I don't have a lot of trauma. I don't have a lot of stuff that happened to me. I don't need to clear, I don't have things to clear. Sorry. But as I did this work, as I listened to the energy clearings, as I started paying attention to how I felt, my thoughts, I paid attention to my reactions, my responses, and then after I would do the energy clearings, all this stuff would come up, all these memories, all these situations, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember feeling that way. So your body, even though you might not remember how you felt in a certain trauma or situation in your life. And it could be big trauma. It could be little trauma, as little as, a boy choosing a girl over you in high school. Okay. That could be something that sticks with you. And that is something that makes you feel less than worthy moving on in your life. So that one situation where you maybe asked a boy out or whatever in high school, and he chose to date somebody else, that in your subconscious, because you're literally creating, your programs that you structure your reality around, when that small little thing happened, you carried that into your next relationship of like, oh, as soon as he meets somebody better, he's going to choose them. And I'm speaking from my own experience here. And because that happened to me. So every time I got into a relationship with like a good person, or, quote unquote, I would always in the back of my head be like, as soon as they meet a better woman or a better person, they're going to leave. And so that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, and it's just those small little situations. That's where the transformation happens. But before that, there's an important question that you have to answer. And again, get your altar out if you have it, light some candles, light some incense, clear the energy in your space, tidy up a little bit if you can really quickly. Anyone that's been in my office knows how small it is. And so tidy can mean many different things for people. But anyway, the first question to ask yourself is, do I want to change? Do you want to change? Do you want to experience transformation? Do you want to evolve? Because if you don't, and it's not bad. If you don't, it's okay. I love you anyway. And you can listen for maybe some nuggets you'll hear, but with no intention. Because if you don't have that intention of transformation, or that intention of evolution, that intention to grow, and you just are around to criticize, trust me, I've run into this in the last couple of weeks where people will come to you wanting to change, but what they really want to do is just criticize your methods. So those are two different things. But anyway, we don't take them personally. But that's the first question. to know if you want to change, and it's not to change. I don't like that word. It's to evolve into the next level, the next version of who you're supposed to be, who you are. You're on this earth for a purpose. Do you want to figure out your purpose? Because I want to warn you guys, with your purpose comes responsibility. And sometimes we don't choose it, right, Darla? Sometimes, I mean, we don't choose it. Actually, we don't choose our purpose at all. But I mean, we sometimes we don't choose when that urge to serve comes in. And so that's the first question. And be completely honest with yourself. Like, be completely honest. Like, if you are fine and happy with how your life's going and you have which here in a minute, I'm going to ask these questions right here. And it's breaking the cycle. Okay. I'm going to ask these before we get into the clearing process. But if you don't want, if you are just fine with your life and you're content and you're like, no, everything's great, I love it, which yes, we need to be thankful for everything that's happening. But if you have no urge to learn, no urge to be better, no urge to love yourself more, if you just are happy with where you are, I really, really urge you to shift that and think differently, because if we're not growing, we're dying. But anyway, I wanted to ask that question because it's an important question for me to screen people before or anyone that comes in my coaching space. First, do you really want to change, or are you just here to blame, criticize, judge, and whatever? Those are triggers, and that means you need to change. So anyway, okay. So here's these 6 things, you guys, that you know. It's called breaking the change cycle. Okay, these are for breakthroughs. And so where are you stuck in the change cycle? So what that means is, like, I talked about spiritual alchemy last Wednesday. And when we get in when we start to get on this path of evolution, of learning things and finding what lights us up, and we make a commitment to live a soul-led life, right? At least that's what I'm living, is a soul-led life. And that's what this process is going to help you guys do in 2022, is to continue living a soul-led life, because the world and our ego and our human self, because change and transformation they're not easy, you guys. They're not easy. They can be enjoyable, but they take work and they're not easy. It's not like, you enjoy every part of your transformation. No, there is a dark night of the soul. So stage 3, which I think was separation. It's dark night of the soul, where you start to light starts to shine on those parts of you that you have hidden from other people. Not so much to seem, because our ego wants to seem perfect, right? We have the perfect family, we have the perfect job, we have the perfect friends, we have all this perfect stuff. And if anything wrong comes out into the light, oh my gosh, it just completely crushes our ego. That is what the dark night of the soul is, of shining a light on that shadow work. I mean, dark night of the soul and shadow work, they go like into each other a little bit. But when you get to those points, is what I'm getting to. When you get to that stage where things are not easy and you're starting to see the false identities that you've carried throughout your life, or that other people have placed on you, that they've put on you, that you are this. So for example, if you are late all the time, like I'm late all the time, my sister's late all the time. So we've gotten this, what's the word I'm looking for? This identity or whatever, that we are late all the time, right? Everyone expects us to be late. And that was something that's kind of been put on us by other people, but then we're kind of like rebels. And so we kind of we're late just to be late sometimes, but then sometimes we don't mean to. But anyway, that's what I mean. The labels other people give you. And so I remember looking at these very, very, and then once I started looking at them, my ego comes in and is like, you're not cut out for this work. Who do you think you are to have a Facebook page or Facebook group? Who do you think you are to share your story? Who do you think you are telling people about, all of that, right? That's my mean girl. Like, that's what I call her, is my mean girl. And then that's when this comes in, and where some people will back off, right? And not continue to do the work that lights them up because of other people's opinions and other people's criticism, right? And so we allow our ego to take over. And this is why a spiritual practice is absolutely 100% required if you want to see your life improve, or you want to raise your vibration and stay there and call in all of the abundance that you were created for. Like, we are supposed to be abundant. That is what God wants. God wants us to have abundance, which is not just money, but it's just a feeling of abundance, because we're here to help other people, right? And we can, and when we have more resources, money, time, help, right? All types of abundance, then we can help more people. Your reputation. Okay, that's a good way to put it too. Your reputation, but like labels is really that. So yeah, that's what it is. And so these 6 things, so we get to a point where we start to back off. So either we're discontent, so we grow increasingly unhappy and discontent with an area of our life. We hang in there. We tolerate it. We ignore it. We repress it. We deal with the circumstance because it's comfortable and familiar, and we fear change. Okay. So if you're in that one place, and you could be like, for me, I am in this place in one part of my life, right? But then in other parts, I'm like excelling. So, okay. 2 is the breaking point. Like, eventually your level of discontent builds high enough that you cannot take it anymore. You reach a breaking point either through exhaustion or due to a dramatic event occurring that triggers the break, which this is the catalyst for spiritual alchemy. That's the first calcination. That's the first stage, is where we're the breaking down of the ego. Okay. 3, decision. So you decide you're ready to change. So this is really the process of deciding to change. I guess it's not really where you're at. This is really a process of it. I guess I didn't understand what that top part meant, but anyway, so you take the first step toward change, giving you a short-lived sense of hope. And that is like in the beginning when you start to like navigate the spiritual world. For me, I was so excited and I was like, oh my gosh, these crystals and and like chakras, and anybody that knows me in real life, you guys know. I mean, not real life, but outside of Facebook. But I was just so excited about everything, right? Well, then it kind of started to back off a little bit of like, okay, this isn't new anymore. And so that's another time when you can stop taking action towards transformation. You get stuck in not knowing like how else I can make it fun or whatever. Okay. Then 4, fear. Usually after your feelings of empowerment, you encounter your fear. You become uncomfortable and anxious about the idea of changing. You doubt your decision, right? So this is when we second guess ourselves. And then both options look bleak. You feel helpless and empty. And then 5, amnesia. The fear of change grows strong enough that it makes the original situation look much better, right? So the situation we wanted to get out of or we wanted to change, once we get into this stage, that situation doesn't look so bad anymore, right? And we forget why we wanted to change to begin with. And so you perceive the original situation as less anxiety producing than the change. You're used to it. It's comfortable. It's familiar. So it's become part of your identity, right? So and this is relationships, friendships, a work where you've worked forever and your boss is like, not nice to you, but it's more comfortable than going and finding a new job, right? And so it says, it's familiar, plus it has become part of your identity. So you resist letting it go and you temporarily forget why you wanted to change it to begin with. And then the 6th one, backtracking. So most people choose to go back to or stick with the item they wish to change, and you essentially talk yourself out of changing. So that is what happens, why people stay stuck in situations. Okay. That is why people don't change. And so which method do you want to use? So you can use, there's like different methods. So self-honesty that I just said, I asked you, I told you guys, be completely honest. Do you really want to change or do you not? And then, there's also these other things. So this is something that I would do like in a coaching session. Okay. So now let's get to it let's just go ahead. I want you guys to close your eyes because we're going to do the energy clearing now. Because when you meditate and you can clear out that energy and you can get quiet, and I'm going to turn off this light, and you can do the clearing, and then things start coming up because you are bypassing the conscious mind. So when you start to relax, when you start to let go, when you start to do all that, then your brain waves, so you go into like the alpha brain waves, the theta state, and then your ego goes to the side and you can get to your subconscious mind, and that is where the programming is. That's where memories are. That's where our deeply rooted beliefs are in our subconscious. And so when we want to reprogram our mind, which is what we're doing here, we want to relax and we want to get into that theta state to where we have access to that. This is where hypnosis comes in. This is when at night they say to listen to meditations when you're going to sleep. I listen with my earbuds in to meditations all night long. Very quiet, but I have a meditation on. If there's like a new way of, like a new thought, a new belief I want to adopt, then I will record myself saying the affirmations, and then I will listen to them when I'm going to sleep, because that is when that's where your mind is like a sponge. We go back to when we were like, 0 to 7. And so go ahead, close your eyes, get a crystal out if you want to hold a crystal, whatever you want to do. We're just going to go through our chakras, open them up, balance them, and I'm going to go through each one. And so starting at the top of your head, just visualize that honey coming down from the top of your head over to your forehead. Relax your jaw. And if you need to stretch a little bit, go ahead and do that. But this is where the magic happens. And anybody that can't sit and meditate, then let's talk. Please. If anyone can't relax, we need to talk. So go ahead, and that warm honey is going down your jaw, your throat, and then in your shoulders. We hold expectations in our shoulders, so just drop them down. Letting go of your worries, letting go of your doubts, letting go of what you think this process should look like for you. And just take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you do that, just visualize that honey going down even more as you breathe in, like really deep. You can even open up your chest a little bit just to breathe even deeper. And then as you exhale, it's going further, going down your arms, going down your chest, down to your stomach. Relax your stomach muscles, going down your back muscles, your upper, lower, down to your root chakra. Now it's going down your legs, down your thighs, and just relax any tension that you feel in your body. Just take note of that, and then you'll push it down as we transmute it into positive energy. But any pent up energy from today, if you talked with a friend who was going through drama, that kind of projected energy, that is a source of energy for you. So if you're feeling kind of scattered right now, or if you did any creative projects today, that can be an extra source of energy, or you had a bunch of new ideas that came in. So just visualizing that, the rest of that honey going down your calves, now to your feet, where we're going to ground. And so feel your clothes on you. Like feel your clothes, feel your pants, how they're rubbing up against your legs. Like feel that, feel the support underneath you, supporting you. And then if you have a crystal in your hand, just feeling the details of that crystal. And just you're dropping into your body. You're getting out of your head, into your heart, into your body, and this is an embodiment practice, is what we're doing. So just take another deep breath in, because that's the connection from your mind, body, and soul, is your breath. And so those tree roots or a rope or whatever comes to your mind's eye, I really want you guys to just focus on what comes up for you. Not just what I'm saying, but when I say that those tree roots are coming out of the bottom of your feet, do you see tree roots? Or do you see like branches, like a rope? What do you see? Because what I see could be different from what you guys see. So just pay attention to that. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. And so for me, or just thinking of those tree roots going down to the center of the earth, wrapping around the center of the earth to anchor me down as my body, I connect with my body and not be so flighty, head in the clouds. And so on your next inhalation, just visualize white light coming up from the center of the earth, through those roots, into the bottom of your feet and up your legs into your root chakra. And so this is your fear. This is where fear lies. Or instability. If you have anything going on with your home, or maybe you just switched homes, or maybe you lost a job, or maybe lost a relationship of some sort, where your sense of stability was shaken. And so letting go of that need to control. And so when you're in that, you need to control the outcome of things, that means that you have a hold on something, that it's time to let go of that and trust and surrender that there's something bigger than you pulling the strings, and they have your back. What you want to call them, God or source or the universe or higher guidance, whatever it is. But in that root chakra, visualize a red ball of light at your tailbone. And we'll just go ahead and open it up, and then pulling or bringing white light into that root chakra and just visualizing it go back and forth, and placing your awareness at your tailbone, like literally placing to where you can start to feel like tingles in your lower back. And so just sitting with that for a second and continuing to breathe. Thinking about what you're fearful of right now. What are you fearful of losing that nothing's going to take its place? What challenges did you have this past year with your stability, with your security? Did you have any challenges that next year you know you're not going to experience again? And so this is a good time to check in, because these are message centers. And again, you're going to open up, and after this, we'll do the visioning process. But just think about that fear that you felt, and we're going to let that go. So take a deep breath in, and when you take a deep breath in, visualize that red light getting brighter. And then exhale. That red light begins to spin and turn and turn in a healthy way with the energy. And so pulling that white light up to the sacral. This is orange, and this is shame. So anything that you're feeling shame around right now, or like you're seeing yourself through other people's eyes. You feel the judgment from other people. You feel criticized, which that'll also go in our solar plexus, but where you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling mom guilt, that you're not doing the right things, that you're making mistakes, that you should be doing, better than what you are. So letting that go and trusting that you're exactly where you should be, and you're doing the best you can with the resources that you have. And so embracing higher levels of self-trust and self-creativity, the creativity and the pleasure, being able to feel pleasure. And pleasure isn't just sexual. Pleasure is finding pleasure in the little things in your life. And so instead of focusing so much on what you're not doing, shift your focus to what you are doing. What are you doing for your kids? Do they have a roof over their heads? Do they have food? Do you help them with their homework? Do they call you when they need to talk about something? You are doing everything right. So focusing on what you're doing right, and then visualizing that orange ball of light right under your belly button. And you can even place your hands there if you want, just to connect to that part of your body. knowing that shame is when we are the most disconnected from our truth. So anytime that you are feeling shameful, do this exercise where you realize and you remember that that came from you wanting to look a certain way to people. You don't want to look bad, quote unquote. And that's when you're coming from love, that's not possible. And so just clearing out that sacral to have those creative ideas also, because when you're so focused on what you're not doing, then that creative flow of ideas gets stuck. And so this is where those desires for 2022 are going to come in once you move past that shame and that guilt, and just trust that you're doing exactly as you should be doing, learning the lessons that you came here to learn through your experiences. And so as you breathe in, that orange light gets brighter. And as you exhale, that chakra turns and opens up and balances and is in alignment with the root chakra. And so just getting this energy moving so you can think of what it is you want to bring into 2022. So moving up to the solar plexus, this is yellow. Self-doubt blocks this. This is what gets the solar plexus out of whack. And also rejection and criticism. So where are you feeling rejected in your life? Where are you not getting what you want because somebody is rejecting you, or an idea you had, or who's criticizing you? Where's criticism coming up from other people? Where's the self-doubt coming up that you're not capable of doing the things you want to do or being the person you want to be? So letting go of that doubt, that fear of rejection, and that fear of criticism, and embracing the fact that that's information. Rejection is God's way of protecting you from things that are not meant for you. And so embracing the fact that anytime that you feel rejected, to replace it with curiosity. And when you feel criticized, embrace compassion for that person who is criticizing you. And so our solar plexus is our willpower center. It's our power center. It's the place of confidence. It's the place of motivation. It's where we take action on those desires that we came up with in our sacral. And so as you breathe in, just see that yellow light get brighter. And as you exhale, all that stale stuck energy from the solar plexus, and embrace higher levels of confidence and motivation, higher levels of initiative, of wanting to do the thing, like that spark. And so our sacral is the spark, and then our solar plexus is like the gas. So, or maybe that's backwards, but you know what I mean. So they kind of work together as far as the ideas in the sacral, and then taking action, solar plexus. So wanting to actually do things with excitement for what's to come. And so moving up to the heart, just pull the white light up to the heart space, and this is green. And wherever you're feeling loss, and we're going to feel loss. That's a natural part of life. But when there's loss, there's room that opens up for new things to come in. And so it's up to you with your mindset. What is that thing that's going to come in? Is it going to be in lack, or is it going to be in abundance? And so in your heart, letting go of grief, letting go of any grudges that you're holding. When you're holding grudges, you're stuck in the past. The past does not exist, but in our mind. And we hold it in our body. But letting go of that grudge and that resentment towards yourself first. So any grudges or resentment you're holding towards yourself for not doing something, or for making a decision that landed you think, in the wrong place. To embrace self-compassion, self-forgiveness. To say, I forgive myself for that time that I didn't do things all the way right, or I didn't make that decision I wish I would have made. And so to get your mind out of that and to be grateful for where you're at now, knowing that there's amazing things coming up that only you can invite into your life. And then shifting that to pink, going to the upper heart chakra, where your love for yourself, so you forgive yourself in the green with the green color. So inhale and you see that green color. And then exhale all the stale stuck energy that you've been holding around yourself, and the grief and the grudges you're holding against yourself. And now moving into loving others and holding grudges against others and resentment. And so now that you have forgiven yourself, it's time to forgive others. And this is the way change can really happen. And transformation can get started. Evolution, the evolution of your soul can grow when you forgive and move on. And so visualize that pink ball of light getting brighter. And then when you exhale, all that stale stuck energy, the green and the pink mix and begin to turn and align with the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, now up to the heart or to the throat. So pull that white light up to the throat. This is blue. And this is dishonesty. This is miscommunication. So that can cause a stuckness or imbalance in your throat. But this is where you can begin to speak your truth and stepping into your truth. So after you've forgiven yourself and you start to pay attention to the things that light you up, and you start to pay attention to the things you're good at, then you can start to, and also your beliefs that you believe to your core that you've always been afraid to express because they weren't like everyone else's, that this is the chakra that's going to allow you to do that. And so letting go of any times you've been dishonest with yourself and then with others. And to embrace self-honesty, 100% self-honesty. And then also for higher levels of healthy communication and listening with the intent to listen. And so visualizing that blue light right there at your throat. And as you exhale, all that stale stuck energy in that throat chakra begins to turn and turn. And you can even, if you want to sit here longer, you can always sit here a little longer or come back to this and sit with your chakras longer, because that's where the messages really come through. When you can quiet your mind and then sit with your body and these energetic centers in your body. And so aligning the throat chakra. And then moving up to the third eye. So right here between your eyebrows, letting go of seeing things for what you want them to be so you can see them for what they are. But also to let go of any time that you have discredited your intuition or have been ashamed of your intuitive abilities, or maybe you have a religious, maybe you have some like religious trauma around your intuition, of it's bad to have psychic abilities, and when you have them, the clairaudience, the clairsentience, the clairvoyance, just to embrace that. And so visualizing the indigo light, and then placing your awareness right here. Just even if you can't, just visualize that indigo ball of light, and then letting go of those conversations you've had where someone's told you that it's not okay or your intuition is wrong. So letting go of those to embrace higher levels of intuition. And then also to pay attention to your negative patterns And we're going to run that light through your thoughts. Your third eye is connected to your thoughts as well, and your mindset. And so run that light through your thoughts, letting go of any thoughts of negative thoughts, any self-talk that has been negative, of self-doubt or self-criticism, the resentment towards yourself. So just clearing all of that out. And then visualizing that ball of light just turning and turning and turning. And you might feel some pressure right here. That's your third eye opening up. And so now moving up to the crown. This is where your beliefs are held as well. So any limiting beliefs, which are beliefs that are not supporting you in what you want to do. So like as if you're not good enough. So that's a belief. And in the crown chakra, to open that up. So even just visualize like a funnel opening up, because the crown chakra hovers above our head and it's light purple. And so as it opens up, and you can just visualize that opening up, and I like to pull energy down from the cosmos into the crown chakra. And if you felt any depression lately, or feeling separate from other people, feeling discontent. Maybe if you just started your spiritual journey and you're still questioning like what you've believed your whole life, and some of it may not be true. And so just clearing out this connection right here, knowing that we're all one. Your mind, body, and soul are all one. You're one with everyone else. We're all human beings. We're all souls and human bodies trying to live on earth. And so knowing that what you feel and how you feel depressed, how you feel angry, how you feel sad, that's how someone else feels angry and sad. We feel emotions the same. No one has it worse or less worse than the next. We all are experiencing this experience. And so letting that go, that you are separate, and knowing that you have a purpose and that you have support. And so visualizing that stream of light coming from the cosmos. And then I like to connect with my higher self here. And so just visualizing what your higher self would look like. What does that highest version of you look like? That version of you that knows, that higher self that knows what's going to happen in your life. She knows your purpose. She knows what it is that you're here to do. She knows the next decision that you're going to make. She knows. She has information for you. And if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can connect with your higher guidance, with God, with whatever you believe. This is your connection to source. This is your connection to that information. And so just tapping into this, clearing out your chakras in this way, starting at the root, raises your vibration. You can even just sit and feel as your vibration rises. And it's like little prickly sensations. As you let go of the fear and the shame and the guilt and the self-doubt and the grief and the dishonesty and the negative patterns, and then the separateness is letting all of that go and connecting to that higher part of you. And then bringing that light into your auric field, pushing out the negative energy, transmuting it into positive, and then just wherever cords are connected to you. You don't have to know where they lead to, but just knowing that you feel drained. Knowing that there's a situation that drains you, and that every time you have to talk to somebody, you're like, oh no, I gotta talk to this person. That's a good indication that they are sucking you dry of energy. And so what we're gonna do is detach those cords from us. So you can do this however feels best to you, whatever you're led to, either Archangel Michael coming in and cutting that with his sword, or what I like to do is push them out of my system from the root. And so pushing it out from my end, visualizing pushing it out, and then you're going to push it out from the other end, and you're going to send healing love and light to that person or that situation, whatever it is, to that other end that is that they don't know how to raise their vibration on their own. It's not your responsibility either, but just sending them love. And then seeing that root like a bubble encase it, or if you want to just see it go up in flames like really quickly, just snapping, and those cords are gone. And then setting the intention to only make connections with people and places and things that lift you up or are adding to your abundant energy instead of taking. And so setting that intention for 2022 that you're going to make soul connections with people that are there to help you rise, are there to help you step into your most authentic self. They're there to help you take your power back instead of taking your power from you. And then we're going to step into the shield of protection, just putting that up over our heads, around us, and knowing that anything outside of our energetic field is not our responsibility. And nothing but love and light can come in, nothing but love and light can go out, and nothing but love and light can connect to our energy. And then just sealing those chakras in with the central axis breath. And so we'll do this to end the meditation. So visualizing as you seal in the chakras, and I'll say them, but as you start to take a deep breath in, we're starting at the root. And so take a deep breath in to the root, the solar plexus, or the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, throat, third eye, crown. And then as you exhale, going back down your chakras. And so just sealing those into alignment. And then taking another deep breath just to seal in this energetic work you've just done. And then thanking your guides, thanking your higher self, thanking whoever it is, past on loved ones, or any goddesses or any energies that support you in your growth and in your journey. Just thanking them for being there for you. And then whenever you're ready, you can rub your hands together and place them over your eyes. And open your eyes. And then whenever you guys are back in this space, let me know. And so that's that right there. If you guys feel like I feel right now, I always feel amazing after I do that. So let me know when you guys are back in the space, because I want to say something about that as far as sitting in this space for a while. Like sitting in this, it's good to sit in this. This is where creative ideas can come in. Like this is what opens you up to information. And so after you do that, this is when we journal. This is when now we're going to go through those questions. Okay. What time is it? Okay, cool. All right. That was kind of long, but you know what? That was clearing out energy from this year. Okay. This is, and this is work you do all the time, and you're going to clear energy as you do the journal prompts. Like you don't just clear energy by closing your eyes, meditating, and running white light. I want you guys to understand that. That is not just how you clear it. Matter of fact, if you really want to get technical, if you just relax and then do automatic writing, you can clear that way. Like if it's hard for you to sit and meditate right now, because again, it's a practice that it's like a muscle. Megan's been doing it for a while. Darla's been doing it for a while. Brittany, I know you've started to do it, but when you first start this, sometimes you're like, I can't sit that long. And then your mind will go off and we go like, you have the monkey mind, but you bring it back. And, no, that's your ego. Okay. And so anyway, tying this in with 2022. So when you do more of that work, so going through your chakras, in which that's one thing on this PDF, when you guys look at it, I didn't put any of the chakras on it yet. I will do that, but I just want to make it simple. I don't want to make it difficult and complicated. If you guys want it to be tied into the chakras, I think you guys know the basis of them. You know the basis of what each chakra is. And honestly, sometimes shame can lie in the sacral, and sometimes it can go up to the solar plexus. Guilt can be interchangeable between the sacral and the solar plexus. Maybe other energy healers won't agree with me on that, but I believe that. Because why do we doubt ourselves? It's because we feel ashamed, right? We feel we don't deserve something because we didn't do something like someone else wanted us to, right? Or if we feel guilty, we're not doing what we should do as moms. We are shitty moms. Therefore, we don't deserve to dream bigger. So do you see how that can tie into that? And then as you get up past the heart, I mean, we have to forgive ourselves. This is across the board. If you are holding resentment against yourself for a decision that you made a long time ago, then you can't dream. You can't even think of what you want because you don't really deeply, you're not going to hold that energetic frequency behind your desires to bring them into form if you don't believe, like, on an energetic level that you deserve them. And so this is why we do the work. That's it right there. That's the key. If you do not forgive yourself, if you don't love yourself, and if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be really, really hard for you to manifest abundance. And so that is why you're here. And that's why I hold space for moms, because I believe in you. I believe in all of you. I believe that we can all be making millions of dollars every month if we wanted to. I believe that at my core because I've seen it. I've seen someone who makes $1 million a month. Even though I don't think I'd need that much money. I don't even know what I would do with that much money. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to tie abundance with something like financially, that's possible. If you want to go live in another country and explore you can do that. That's possible. Like, anything you want to do, it's possible. But you have to have that self-belief. Now, I will add this. I don't really believe in confidence anymore. And I'll tell you why. If you haven't heard me say this, now you will. And tell me if you agree. I don't believe in raising confidence because everyone's about confidence. Oh, we gotta have confidence to do that. We have to if you guys think that that my confidence, like me getting up here, it has anything to do with me and my confidence, it doesn't. It has to do with empowerment. And how you feel empowered is by looking at your accomplishments and looking at what you're doing well, and then more of that will happen, but then you have a shift, okay? And you step into feeling empowered, like, I did that. I can do this. It's not confidence. Yeah, we need confidence to get up and make a speech, about something. But to do our work as light workers, we feel empowered. And so to feel empowered is to look where you are, just taking your power back. And so one thing I didn't do at the beginning of that energy clearing was calling back our power. And this is something you guys can do really quickly every day, of just visualizing as you breathe in, calling all your power back from everyone that you've given it to. And then you exhale, the anger that you have felt, or the lack of peace, or whatever it is that you've allowed you've allowed them to get you in this space. And so you just call your power back in and you do all that. So it's really easy. But anyway, so self-belief, and that's something that I'll talk about more. But now with the visioning process, or with the planning out of the 2022, I'm going to bring up this PDF. I'm just going to kind of walk through it and then we'll get off of here. Actually, now I'm going to pull some cards. But I suggest, I know all of you guys have cards, right? I know Darla does. I know my sister does. I think Brittany, if you even have just those dream cards I gave you, Megan, I think you do too. You have the earth ones. get out your favorite deck, okay? Because that's what this visioning is going to, actually I have an 11 card spread for the new year that you guys can do by yourself with your own cards. And this is you're strengthening your intuition. Or you can do it, whatever. I can do it. I want to do them all week next week. Okay, so you have the dream cards, Britt. Okay. So what we're going to do, so with this PDF, if you guys don't have it up, that's okay. I'm just going to bring it up here. And so it's a 2-step process. All right. When you're like, cause I don't do New Year's resolutions, by the way. I do not do New Year's resolutions. And I suggest only going into 3 months of 2022, with the specific like grounded action that we're going to talk about. But have an overarching like big vision for where you want to be a year from now. And I'm going to do a guided meditation for that after the new year. It's going to be, I think I might do it on Wednesday. I'm not sure yet, but it's just envisioning where you are going to be in 1 year right now. And then even where you're going to be in 6 months, where you're going to be in 3 months. And so when you know where you want to be in a year, then we can move backwards, right? We can do the reverse engineering. And so step 1 of this visioning process, and I took some of this from Rebecca Campbell, who is amazing. She's one of my spiritual mentors, but she made these cards and she has the Work Your Light cards. And so I kind of took this from her. So first of all, the first step, okay, of really stepping into 2022 with like in a powerful place, first is doing what we just did, right? Clearing out that clutter, but asking yourself now, like, what beliefs, what people, what situations, what thoughts, what emotions, what mental states have you been, like, what have you in like this past year? What are the things that have kept you from feeling good? What is it during your day that keeps you from feeling good? So have you been taking things personally? Do you believe that you have to, work a certain amount of time in order to be a good parent or whatever? Like, I don't know, that sounds funny, but that's actually something that I've believed before, that I have to have a job at a 9 to 5 in order to be a good mom. I know, it's crazy, but I did believe that. That was something that I believed, or I held myself to that expectation. What expectations have you held yourself to this year that have kept you in lower vibes? Or have you been in depression? Now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm teetering right here, but depression, anxiety, do you feel a lot of anxiety? For example, with Megan, it's okay if I share your story a little bit. I think you don't care, but I just want to make sure, like, I just say yes. About with Megan, like when we first started working together, she was in a certain state of mind a lot. Like she couldn't even just do simple things as like driving. And so we started working together and doing the things that I help people with and practicing mindfulness. Now she knows what to do when she feels that way. So that's an example. Okay, so she had a lot of anxiety. And when she drive or anything that was like unknown, right? You have anxiety because your mind is in the past or it's in the future. And so getting present was something she started doing. And that was just stepping into a new way of being. That's what she's done this whole year, where she's continued. And Megan is one of the ones that has done the work. Like she has done the work. She did she's done almost all my challenges and that we've done in here, and she actually has like proof. She does the work, and that is what it is. That is, if you're gonna just watch things and listen and say, okay, yeah, I'll do the journal, I'll do those prompts, yeah, I'll do that, I'll get to that. I'm only here to share what has helped. But if you're not gonna do the work, and I'm not trying to be rude or, actually, I'm just not gonna sugarcoat it, then I don't feel sorry for anyone. I just don't. If you don't do the work, but you continue to complain about your life, you have a space to shift and change that, but you don't do it. So I know no one on here, but I mean, I'm coming into it, and no more bullshit, you guys. I'm done. I'm done holding hands. I'm done. Someone who really wants something's going to do it. And if they don't, they won't. So whatever, right? And I don't have time for any of the other stuff. So back to this. Okay, so it's no longer serving you, but what needs to be released in these areas of your life? So spirituality, okay? You can't grow and change if you don't do the work. Exactly. If you don't do the work. If you don't do the work. And this is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who say they're so miserable. They judge and they criticize and they blame and they talk about people, but they don't do the work. And then they get mad because their life still looks the same or whatever, or things are still not going well, or this just isn't for me because nothing's working. Well, that means you're not doing something. Anytime you guys do work, and I mean just being here on this live, this is work. Meditation is work. I don't even care if you're sitting relaxing. Relaxing is work, because you guys, and that's the secret to energy healing, by the way. Relaxing is the secret to energy healing. When you relax and you stop being so tense, then your energy can move. So there's going to be some changes in this group. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, because you guys are like the 6 that are on here quite often and you guys do the work, but I'm not going to do a free one-on-one every month anymore for people. I'm going to have some new guidelines, and I'm also not going to sugarcoat things because it's not helping anybody, right? All right. And so these areas, you guys, on this PDF, I put the areas so you guys would see it. And I actually want to add the Wheel of Life. Go to the Wheel of Life. I'm going to put it on this PDF, because that Wheel of Life is going to let you see, and you grade them 1 through 10, or you, whatever, not rate them 1 through 10. And then you'll know where to focus, right? Because people say, I don't know where to focus. I don't know where to start. Well, you start wherever you feel the worst in. Wherever you're more stressed, wherever you're the most anxious and angry and sad and complaining and calling your friends and complaining, that's where that is where the work needs to be done. It sounds very easy when I say it that way, but anyway, okay. So I have those on here, and then also to choose an oracle card out of your deck that represents this year for you. Like, what is it you're releasing? Like, find an oracle card that you feel like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a card that embodies or represents what I've done this year. Like, what in my growth process, like, what is it that what is it that I really embodied this year, and now I'm ready to go into the next step. Start where you want to avoid. I love that. That's perfect, Darla. I swear, you know what? You need to just make like quotes. You need to make like one of those calendars as like quotes every day and sell them. Passive income idea for you, Darla. Okay? We're going to do it. All right. So then, in order to start something new, we have to close off the old. Okay? Have to. Or else that energy is going to come into the new and, whatever. So we need to close that off, right? So here's some questions. And this is, you guys will be journaling these later, but like, what good things happened this year? Like, what good things happened this year for you guys? What good things happened? And then also, what was challenging? What were some challenges that happened? And what do you wish would have happened instead that didn't happen, right? So think about that as well. And again, these are on this paper. What didn't go as planned? I mean, there's so many things coming up in my head right now. What lessons did you learn? What lessons did you learn this year that you're going to take into next year that are going to support you in your growth? What relationships were challenging and that are not lifting you up? How are your relationships with even your friends and whoever? How did you change this year? How did you change? How did you grow this year? Where was your evolution this year? Like, and for this one, I think to where I was at the beginning. I look at my journals. This is why I journal, you guys. This is why I journal. I go back to my journal from January of 2021, and I read it, and I see what state of mind I was in, and then I see how I grew. And so I did it earlier, and it was really fun. So that's another reason I love that I write everything down now. Okay. And then how were you called to lead? This is something that I almost didn't put on there, but in your life, how were you called to lead, to show up and lead? And it may be just with your kids. It may be with your friends. You know, it may be, in a situation in your life where you had to take the lead. And Brittany, some things are coming up for me right now. I won't say them on here, but I already know where you showed up to lead. So think about that. Even if you don't think you are a leader, you are a leader. And then also, so this is the last thing. So what do you want to release? After you answer those questions, you'll get clarity around what it is you want to get rid of, right? And then there's a closing ritual that I have on here. And so what you do is you just relax. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want. You can write this out if you like to write better. I like to write, so I wrote this out. But it says, as I move into this new year, I'm ready to release the thing, whatever the thing is that you want to release. So let's say I'm releasing my need for, I'm releasing comparison. There's a good one. There we go. I'm releasing comparison, and I'm going to step into a different energy of collaboration. This year, I want to collaborate. I'm stepping into that. I'm not looking at others in a energy of comparison. So I say that, right? And then say goodbye, comparison. I release you forevermore. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And then you close. Okay, so you could even open it like this if you want, like soul time. You could open it like this, say that ritual, and then you close the soul time. Okay, so that's on here. And then you go to the next step. Okay, so step 2, which is how do you want to feel in 2022? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What do you want to experience? This was the hardest thing for me 3 years ago. This step was so hard. When I was asked by my first coach, when I was getting certified for coaching, and she says, how do you want to feel? And I'm like, I don't know how I want to feel. What do you want to think? What do you want to believe? And I think you guys have heard that before, where I thought that was just fucking crazy, that we could come up with our own beliefs. And I felt like I had been ripped off my entire life because I could have done this a long time ago. And so I had a lot of anger when I realized that the way I felt. So for example, some of the Christian views didn't align with how I felt. You know, I didn't really know God. I didn't know who he was. I was trying so hard to figure out who God was, but I never got a really good answer from the Baptist church or, you know, all of that. And so I remember thinking there is no God. But then once I started my awakening, I thought there is a God. He doesn't look the way that he was portrayed to me. And that was okay. I didn't feel shame around it anymore. So that's an example of like my belief did not align with what I was raised to believe. Therefore, I thought it was wrong. So when I realized that it's not right. That's not correct. That changed the game for me. Okay. That changed the game. And for my sister too. She's on here as well. And so that's just an example of where, you know, or any time that you, is that Joy? Hi, Joy. I know Joy's been doing a lot of this work too over the last year. And so just those things that made you feel weird inside when somebody would say like, you know, you need to be this way, or you should do this. You know, those are the things you can align with, okay? And so what do you want to hear as far as hearing? What do you want to hear people say to you? What do you want to hear people saying? Do you want to say you want to hear people saying you're doing such a good job in your life? Or, oh my gosh, I love your new house. Because, like, you know, I really do one day want to build a house and I want to live on the lake. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to have my friends over and we're going to sit on the lake and I'm going to hear them, you know, saying, oh my gosh, I love this like outdoors thing or whatever, like whatever you want to hear. And that means even music. If you want to, you know, if you play music, if you make music, maybe you want to hear your song on the radio. But this is manifesting down to the very detail. Like of my new house, I want to have wooden, you know, oak wood floors. I want to have a jacuzzi tub in my bathroom. I want to have a skylight in my, you know, like I have it down to the very specific thing. And then bringing in what I hear, or maybe I hear kids playing, you know, in the next room. I wouldn't wish for that right now. But anyway, do you guys see what I mean about the hearing part? Okay, and then what do you want to experience? What do you want to experience? You want to experience somebody calling you. Like for me, I want to experience somebody being like, hey, will you will you be a guest on my podcast? You know, can we collaborate? Oh, another thing I really want to hear, or I want to see too, like an email saying, hey, we're having a virtual summit and we would like for you to participate. I would love that. So that's something that I'm going to call in. And so let me know if that's like enough clarity with that. But you do that in each of these areas of your life: spiritual, personal growth, relationships, and financial is what I have on there, because those are the core things anyway. Okay. And then what are you looking forward to? What made you feel excited this year? Okay. I know that kind of goes into the back one, but what made you feel excited this year? You know, what made your sacral chakra be like, ooh, you know, whatever you say when you get excited, that's your sacral speaking. Okay. And what would you do if you knew you'd be supported? Okay. I'm going to return to this every time. What would you do if you knew you'd be supported, you had enough money, you had as much money as you need to do whatever you need, you have the approval of whoever you need approval, I don't know, whatever it is you need. And if there was no way you were going to fail, what would you do? Okay. And you're going to find your purpose. If you want to find your purpose this year, these are the questions you really, really want to use calling in 2022. So what do you want to celebrate? What do you want to celebrate this year? Like me, I want to celebrate having 500 people on my email list. Like that is what I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate, you know, doing a group program and actually finishing it. I want to celebrate, you know, having, you know, there's so many things I want. So what do you want to celebrate? Get back in nursing school. There you go. Okay. And so that's perfect. You guys are awesome. So what is your soul calling you to do? What are those little nidges, which I'm going to pull from this right here. And that's where niggles, that's where I get from her. What needs to change? Oh, it says, what are your top 3 priorities this year? Where did you lack focus in your life this 2021? Where did you kind of stop focusing? Okay. Or stop prioritizing. And so it doesn't look the best right now. That's how I figured out where my priorities were and I'm not talking about, okay, moms, it is a given that your kids and your grandkids are your priorities. So I'm not talking about that. The given is our family, right? That's a priority. Okay. Our bills are a priority. Like I'm talking about your goddess priorities, your priorities as a light worker, as a way shower, as a leader. What are your priorities going to be? So for example, my business, of course, right? My business is going to be a priority. My health is going to be a priority. So you stepping into the best version of you, what are you going to prioritize? Not the regular. We all have regular priorities. That I think all of us here are, you know, have down pretty good because, and that's something that just came up. Spirit, I think, wants me to say this, that because of those priorities, a lot of times we back off from focusing on other parts of our life, right? Life gets in the way and then we kind of get off of it. So, that's why I'm here. so I can guide you back to your soul practice. And so, okay, how do you want to feel in 2022? Okay, so then the calling in abundance ritual, okay, you guys, same thing. You just relax. You can get out your journal, whatever, close your eyes if you want to like memorize this, or just say, and setting the intention as I move into this new year of 2022, and say that 2022, I'm bringing with me the priority of collaboration, or I'm bringing with me the new way of being and showing up in my life from a place of a higher vibration, as a healer, as a, in nursing school, you could say, I'm showing up as a student in nursing school. Before you even sign up for nursing school, if you were in nursing school, how would you be showing up every day? Like, I know that kind of sounds funny, but that's how we evolve into that next level, is to show up as that next level version of us. So for me, how would I show up if I was in a virtual summit? If I was in a virtual summit, then I would show up. I'd get up at 6 a.m., do my mindful morning. I would send my emails, check my email. Like, I have a whole way of being that on my little board over there. But it's crazy because you step into that mindset. And then what decisions would you make as that person? So that's a good one, is, what decisions how will you make your decisions when you're coming from that place of a leader in your life, and not this person who's feeling shame and guilt and self-doubt and she can't do anything and she's a victim and all that, right? Like that older part of us. But you step up and you're like, no, I am co-creating my life with my higher guidance. There is a strong energy and a powerful feeling that comes when you realize that you can create however the hell you want your life to look. Like, it is up to us. Now, a lot of people don't do this because they want to be able to blame something or someone for their shitty life, right? But when you know that you have control, it's literally the energy you carry into your conversations, into the gas station, the energy you have in your communications with your friends, the things that you pay attention to, all of that, you're manifesting all day long. And so when you start to intentionally manifest, it's amazing. Like, I get lit up, if you guys can't tell. Like, this shit lights me up. I love it. Okay, so that is the second step, is what you're going to call in, all right? The third, and actually it's just the energetic clearing that but it's really focusing on to experience a better feeling reality, because at the end of the day, right, we just want to feel better. That's where it all started for me. I just wanted to feel better. I didn't want to have to take something to not be depressed. I didn't want to have to take something when I felt anxious. I wanted to be able to control my my environment to some degree, right? Of how I showed up. And so yes, I just have on here of the energy clearing thing, and then what I would like to feel. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw a card, and then we'll get off of here. But let me know if you guys have any questions. What are your thoughts? My phone, I think, is about to die. Okay, yeah, it is. So anyway, who wants a card? Let me know who wants a card on here, and I'm going to pull a card. These are the cards I'm going to do. One just fell out. So let's see. This one is for all of us, I think. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. That just came up. That just flipped out of there. Let me know. Brittany, do you want a card? I think I'm just going to pull, and you guys can tell me, because I'm using the Starseed deck. Okay. Yes, girls, I'll do that. Okay, Britt, here's a card for you. Ooh, I like this one. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north. This was big for me. When I stopped wanting to be liked by everyone, and I don't think, Britt, I don't really think you ever, you don't really want to be, you don't care either. But it's not even just so much about us not needing acceptance. It's more of embracing what it is that you bring to the table that nobody else brings to the table, right? That's what it's about. What are the things, and I already have some things coming up in my head of what are the things that that sets you apart from other people, and it's your weirdness. What if people told you is weird about you, right? But face your true north also, of like, that's what we're figuring out, right? The true north. And so, okay. We can go deeper into that if you want, Britt, later. But Megan, here's yours. Again, if anybody wants a card that just got on here. Ooh, okay. Your life is a canvas. Well, it's kind of what we were just talking about. Your life is a canvas. You're the artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So what this is, and Megan, that's what you've done this year. Oh my gosh. Like, it's, once you realize that you are in control and you can stop blaming other people for whatever's going wrong, it's empowering. That is when your level of self-belief rises, is like, okay, wait a minute. Like, and then, I mean, it's just, I love it. I can go on, and I need to get off of here because it's 20 after 9. But your life is a canvas, Megan. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So knowing that you are the artist of your life, and that when things are going wrong, we can fix them, right? We can fix them. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I will get on a call with all of you that are on here. If you want some, like, for 30 minutes, a half an hour, and we'll go through this. And it's just to map out how you are going to show up. In what place are you going to show up in 2022? Now, I didn't really do a lot of mapping with this because I think that it takes steps, and that is to figure out where you want to be energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and self-expressively. And then you know how you want to be, then you know what you want to call in, and then we can do reverse engineering to go back and do, through the months. And again, I just like to do the first 3 months. That's all I like to do. Love you too. But yeah, so anyway, I'll probably do another live. I'll do a live tomorrow to talk more about, like, mapping out your year, instead of just how you're going to be in your year. This was more about how you're going to be, and then clearing that energy, and knowing that you guys can clear your energy every day. And all it takes is you placing awareness on where you're not feeling good and where you're feeling low, and then figuring out what you need to let go of. And if you have a hard time of letting go of things, then let's talk about that. Let me know. What are you having problems with? What are you attaching to? So I love you guys. I believe in you. Thanks for being here tonight. I hope that you got something out of this. I pray that you did. I will probably go back through it and make some, like, bullet points of things I said, because this work, this is transformational. Yes, mapping out your year is transformational, and goals and all that. But when you can shift the way you are being, like the way you are showing up and responding to your life, that is when things start to happen differently for you. Okay. So I love you guys. Have a good night, and I will see you guys, this week sometime. Wednesday, definitely at 10. Wednesday at 10, I'll be coming on. So I love you guys. Have a good night.